clear that Summit Technology Academy provides a relevant and meaningful experience to its students. The extensive hands-on approach, the connection to career-driven learning standards, and a multitude of opportunities to hear from and work with industry experts set STA apart from a typical school setting.
Summit Technology Academy has a focus on college and career preparation in a very big way.
Our challenge is to make the STA experience the norm for the majority of students during high school. To do this, we must ensure that we are ready and willing to respond to the needs of the industry and the needs of our students.
On any given day, I see active learning in the classrooms. Students are in charge of their learning, and that makes for a very unique atmosphere and very much like what the students will experience when they are in college or in the workplace, for that matter, where they have to be in charge of what it is that they get out of a course and in charge of their learning.
One of the things that we talked about was that many of our kids were interested in professional programming. With that in mind, we sat down and started to talk about what that might look like. And we had people from FabTech, we had people from Townsend, we had people from the University of Missouri at Kansas City, we had people from UCM, from Longview Community College, from the school district. We had several other engineering firms that were involved. We began to talk about what a program would look like. The idea kind of grew out of that conversation. We have a program, what should it do, what should it look like, what should be its goals. We began the process then of actually building out this building, and the spot where Summit Tech currently sits for all the old AT&T people and Western Electric people was the North Cafeteria. And when I first came in here in May, the year before we started school, then in August, when we came in May, it was a cafeteria. We were almost ready for occupancy in September, and the first 3 or 4 weeks of school, we actually met with our students in another space somewhere else in the building that was close to the school because it wasn't quite ready. The way we ended up picking our programming was based on an analysis that many of us did of industry needs and what the hot jobs were. Initially, the thrust was going to be engineering. A lot of the input that we had gotten from the industry was we're having a hard time finding engineers. The second round of courses we did into the IT field. Along with that, we also thought we needed electronics as another component. So those three then became our 3 courses, and our enrollment swelled from a whopping 26 students the first year to about 90. The next 2 courses, we added one in the early beginnings of the bioscience course. Then after that, we added the digital media and the nursing program. Then we were up to 5 courses that we offered, and our enrollment was closing in on 200 students. Our first curriculum was really written by a combination of teachers, engineers, tradespeople, all got together and decided these are the kinds of skills that we should teach. The thing that I enjoyed most was this constant flow and change. Here, there wasn't any problem with that because things move so fast sometimes it was hard to keep up.
Active learning is a key part of what our teachers enforce here on a daily basis.
You take those traditional classroom models, then you expand them into practical application-based projects that kids can do out in the community.
Early on in our engineering program, one of the things that Paul taught was this little lesson on rate of flow. And the reason we taught that was because FabTech, in their manufacturing process, used that. It was a very important part, and we could actually uproot our class, walk down to FabTech, and see that piece in action and why it was important. Paul did a great job of this. He just said, okay, kids, here's the experiment, go set it up. Well, the kids are doing this, and they're timing away and doing it and timing away, and pretty soon one of them says to Paul, isn't there an easier way to do that? And Paul goes, oh, well, there's a formula for rate of flow. And the kids go, formula? You didn't tell us that. No. And they said, well, what is it? And he said, well, I don't know, figure it out. So instead of giving them the formula first and saying, here, do 20 problems on this formula, they figured out the formula.
Once they get done, in most traditional classrooms, you take the exam, you visit a little bit, maybe a field trip here or there, but you never really actually get to live it and then create something that somebody critiques that's actually in the professional field that gives you some critical analysis of what you did. That's one of the unique things about the teaching and learning there.
The students are engaged in activities that let them practice the skills that they're learning.
When I think of rigor and depth, that's what I think of. I think of getting into the curriculum at that level. Now, it takes a lot of time to do it that way, but the results are worth the time.
Summit Technology Academy drives economic development by providing a highly trained workforce to meet demands.
So it's not just about the knowledge, it's about applying that so that what they leave with are skills that will carry them through a lifetime.
It was an exciting place to be, and the kids loved it, and it's a treat to come to work every day when you know you're going to get there, and it's hard to keep the kids out of the building. You know, they wanted to be in there so badly. So that made it great. So really enjoyed that part.
I envision Summit Technology Academy setting the pace for the future of education and ensuring that our students maintain a competitive advantage over their peers from other communities and throughout the world.